When you hear the anthem, all about the TPP ship. Tobago, it is your time now. All about the TPP ship. There is no need to worry. All about the TPP ship. We sailing with Captain Valley. All about the TPP ship. We sailing with TPP, oh. We're riding them waves to the shore. In turbulence, rain or storm. Anchor down, we be anchored down. We sail into autonomy. We're riding with Team TPP. In turbulence, rain or storm. Anchor down, we be anchored down. I see our changes coming. All about the TPP. Autonomy on the horizon. All about the TPP. Gather your friends and family. All about the TPP. There's room for everybody. All about the TPP. Come here, all are coming. 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 Come here, all are coming.
Give them the anchor, give them. Give them the anchor, give them. I want you give them the anchor, give them. Give them the anchor, give them. Wave your flag, 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 wave your flag now. Wave, 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 wave. All you look to come in, let we come in, all you come in.
Come here, all are coming. Come here,
All you ready to jam the X on the 12th of January 2026?
all are coming.
No, jam the X, jam the X, jam the X, jam the X, no, jam it, 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 jam it. Give them the anchor, give them. I want you give them the anchor, give them. I want you give them the anchor, give them. I want you give them the anchor, give them.
Come here, all are coming. 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 Come here, all are coming.
Speyside. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Speyside. Good evening again. We're into Speyside. The electoral district of Parlatuvier, Lansom is Speyside. To start this evening, we call in a brother to do our prayer as usual. Brother Forrest will lead us off in prayer this evening.
Blessed be. TPP family. TPP family. Hallelujah.
Good evening, President. Good
Let us
evening.
commence.
Sonny Craig here, and
Roberts, and we are here by Speyside Bar for the next round of political meeting of the Tobago People's Party.
breeze coming across the ocean from Little Tobago, and we are now praying to begin this meeting. So let's just hold up as the prayers are offered.
The enemy, we bring the plans of the enemy to naught. We trample them underneath our feet. Every tongue that rises up against us in judgment, you said, every one of them shall and will be condemned. Father God, we commit everything into your hands. Father, those that are, who are offering up themselves into office, oh God, to lead this island, Father God, I commit them into your hands. Father God, I ask of your wisdom, your knowledge, your understanding. Father, touch them individually, oh God, and collectively. Father God, Father, touch the intellect, order their steps, because you say the steps of a good man is ordered by the Lord, and no weapon formed against them shall prosper. Every tongue that rise up against them today, in judgment, every one of them shall and will be condemned. Father God, we just commit everything into your hands. Father, we say, have your divine way, oh God. Father, those who are journeying to come, oh God, Father, hasten their steps, oh God. Father, let us have the receptive ears that we will hear, and understanding that we will understand the things that will come from their mouths tonight, and we will give our hearts, oh God, Father, and our mind to you, and say, God, be glorified in this place.
Amen, amen, amen. You know, he finished praying and I'm still meditating. Let's stand for the national anthem, brothers and sisters. Thank you. Chairman of the Tobago People's Party, Sister Ann Natisha II. Political leader of the Tobago's People's Party, the Honorable Farley Chavez Augustine. Deputy political leaders of this dynamic Tobago People's Party, Dr. Faith Brebner, Assemblyman Trevor Williamson James, and Sister Natisha Pantin. Who? Who? We on course. We on course.
Second round of the political
To all
meeting of the Tobago People's Party, we have a political meeting
of the executive of the Tobago's People's Party. Member of Parliament for Tobago East and Tobago West, Mr. David and Joel, to all secretaries and assistant secretaries, brothers and sisters, every member, good evening. This evening we also want to say, we want to greet and welcome, brothers and sisters, the Tobago, brothers and sisters, every member of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. They have been giving us service, brothers and sisters. They have been protecting us. They have been providing that quality guidance for us. Even those, brothers and sisters, who has not yet accepted our philosophy and has joined our struggle, we welcome them. We welcome them. There's a matter of time before they join this wagon. Brothers and sisters, to every format of the media, the mainstream media, the social media, whatever platform you're viewing this program, good evening and welcome. We are here, brothers and sisters, to endorse our candidate for Parlatuvier, Landshomi, Speyside. And starting this endorsement this evening is a man from the electoral district of Lambo Lowlands. This man is a worker man. He's a worker man. Brothers and sisters, he's a coach. He's a secretary. Listen, I'm cutting all these accolades, are cutting them in half. Brothers and sisters, welcome to Speyside. Is our candidate for Lowlands Lambo, Dr. The only Doctor of Philosophy, Wayne was Clark.
Speyside, good night. Speyside, good night. Speyside, give me a blue wave. I like how that look when it's nice. You do it twice. Speyside, give me a blue wave. Chief Secretary and political leader of the Tobago People's Party, Fali Chavez Augustine. Deputy Chief Secretary, Dr. Faith Brebner. Deputy Political Leaders, Dr. Faith Brebner, Natisha Charles Pantin, and Trevor Williamson James. Let me also recognize the members of Parliament for Tobago East and West. The executive of this party, the chairman of the party. Most importantly, you wonderful people who came out here tonight to support not only the Tobago People's Party, but to say why the Chief Secretary should remain the Chief Secretary, and the Chief Secretary is the winning candidate for Parlatuvier Landshomi Speyside. Brothers and sisters, I think somewhere along the line we are on the verge of making history again. Yes, history is right within our reaches. And I want to tell you something. We shouldn't even be coming up here tonight to do this. Where the king resides, the enemy should be afraid to tread. They should be afraid to come into Speyside. They should be afraid to go to Charlottesville. They should be afraid to go to Parlatuvier. Well, they shouldn't afraid to go by the part where the former MP said nobody else live there. But look, we showing see people live there, and it's blue people live there, a blue wave live there, and we're gonna make January 12th a historic day.
You respect that? You respect that?
The task tonight is a very simple one. Just to tell you to keep the leader in front. This is a man who lead by example. This is a man who lead with class. This is a man who lead with dignity. This is a man who, when you ask him for something, sometimes he taking long to answer you. Say, man, hurry up and answer me now. He said you had to pray about it. So you always had to wait on him. Brother and sisters, this is a praying man.
You respect that?
Who better to lead this island where they have to go than a praying man? It took a praying man to part the Red Sea. It took a praying man to separate all the enemies and let the blue wave come through. It took a praying man to come from Speyside, go down in town and run that THA with dignity. Farley Chavez Augustine is the only person to remain in that residence in Lowlands.
You respect that?
He have to remain there. There's no doubt about it. Yes, if you believe, wave your flag. Because it's Farley we're going with. It's Farley in the morning. It's Farley in the lunchtime. It's Farley in the night. It's Farley every day. It's Farley, Farley, Farley.
You respect that?
Because it's only Farley we want. You have to be careful. You have to be careful with who you put in that house in Lowlands. Because you know what they just do when they lose. Me ain't saying it again. But I showed everybody here last night. But me ain't saying nothing. Because somebody called me this morning and tell me about courthouse closed. I said, man, me ain't had to go in no court. Look it on film. The chief secretary show it in the house. So it's not no lie. But listen, we ain't have to worry about that again. The furniture is in good hands. Even the dog down there have manners, so you can't blame it on the dog. The cat have manners. Listen, even our present chief secretary, even his pets have manners. They doesn't go in there and pee upon the thing, man.
You respect that? You respect that?
But I want, on a serious note, I want you to don't lose sight of the strides we have made over the past 4 years. I want you to don't forget the torture at times we had us to go through to survive until this time. I want you not to forget that when you talk about this present THA, this present Executive Council, we could say it was a long way, it was hell, but it was sweet because we're victorious and we're going to be victorious again. Yes, we're going to win again. Yeah, if you believe, wave your flag, man. We're going to win again. With Farley in the driver's seat. With Farley in the driver's seat, we don't have to worry west side the vehicle going. Because we know the vehicle going on the shores of success. He's taking a road that could lead Tobago where Tobago belongs. Farley is a leader that come of age at the right time. Farley is a man who was born for this job. And the other 14 candidates with him were chosen for this right time, in this right place, in this right Tobago. We have to win. We just have to win this thing. We have to win. There are no two ways about it. If you want to see Tobago continue on that upward trend, wave your flag. Because we had to win come January the 12th. If you want to see Tobago continue to develop, wave your flag because we just had to win. If you want to see Tobago move, passing all the other Caribbean islands, going to the top of the line, wave your flag because we have to win. January 12th is a day with destiny. We have to win. We have to bring this home. And depending on each and every one of you, play your part. Wave your flag, but go out and vote because we just have to win. This time we're playing for all the marbles, as they say. We ain't playing for nothing other than everything. We just have to win this time around. And, you know, you have some people talking about putting Tobago first again. Well, me I know about that. What I know is this Blue Army have to win again. And this Blue Army gonna win every day they line up because we just had to win. They say good leaders lead from the front. And Farley Chavez Augustine has been leading from the front, has been leading by example. Farley Chavez Augustine has been leading with dignity because even when they try to go in the house and dig up all the clothes. He didn't study them. He continued leading Tobago. Even when they tried to put stumbling block in the way, he didn't study them. He continued leading Tobago. Who better to put in office than a man who could put away everything and lead you to success, lead you to where you need to be. Farley Chavez Augustine just have to be the man for the job. And if you believe that Farley Chavez Augustine is the man for the job, keep your flag in the air, wave your flag, wave your rag. Come January 12th, we're going to march to victory. We're going to march from Speyside to Crown Point. Parlatuvier lands from me down to Scarborough, and we're going to celebrate a big victory because with Farley as our leader, we just can't go wrong. As I wrap up tonight, because you know the task was real simple tonight, and I like hard work, you know. But they ain't give me no hard work to do tonight. I just come to say the winner go win again.
You will learn.
When Tobago can go to sleep at night, knowing fully well that you have a leader that has your back.
You respect
Look,
that. You respect that.
Look at the things. Look at the things as a former teacher. Look at how he guided this process along with Miss Hackett to put the teachers in a very comfortable place. That deserves a round of applause. Sometimes they just say everything had to happen in tongue. And when I was small and growing up, I hearing people talking about everything is tongue. But now we look like everything is country. Because Farley, look at the Dutch diving. That's a world-class event that has promised to take us to places. When you look at the pavilion and community center that is being constructed now, we never get no pavilion high, sir. Farley is a man that operates from high places, so the pavilion in Charlottesville had to be high up. When you look at the work that has been done, and we have to continue doing it on this recreation ground, Farley is a man for the job. Look at the court. Farley is a man for the job. And I want to tell you, we ain't playing no joke this time around. We ain't want to sit down and wonder if it's 14-1 or don't have people busting their brain with no kind of mathematics. Just say 15 on one side and 0 on the next side. It's going to be easier.
You respect that. You respect that.
So as I wrap up, I want you to know and understand that the job is far from over. The task will be completed at 6 p.m. on January 12th.
You respect that.
Each and every one of you have to bear that in mind because you have a part to play. You have a serious part to play because without your numbers, the task becomes impossible. But with this blue party, we just make the impossible possible. When they think that a red boat couldn't get overturned, a blue wave make it look like a piece of cardboard in the water. When they think that they was invincible, Farley bought through the shield. When they think that another day, a brighter day couldn't come in Tobago, Farley went out and recruited 14 of the finest candidates to go along with himself. And I tell you, these candidates gonna make each and every one of you proud. Come January 12th, Farley is a serious man. Farley is a businessman. Farley is a man for the work. Everything. You could go to bed at night and only sing Farley, because Farley got take with it. Farley got lead with you where we had to go. Brothers and sisters, I want you to enjoy the rest of the night. When you go to sleep, just sleep with Farley in mind. If you want to dream, dream with Farley. When you get your food, mark a F on the food. Farley food. Everything you do, just do it with Farley in mind. Wave your flag one more for Farley. Wave your flag for Farley. Brothers and sisters, have a wonderful night. Farley Chavez Augustine is the man for the job. The man
I come out to dirty my finger. I'm ready to dirty my finger. Paint and oil, rub it all over. Let me get money together. I come out to dirty my finger. I'm ready to dirty my finger. Chop come from a Grenada. So let me get dirty together. afraid to go down.
TPP family! Brothers and sisters, someone inquire what event there is at the Paisley Crawford Stadium in blue. For the correction, we are at Speyside. We are at Speyside. The numbers they're seeing, someone say something big happening in Trinidad. This is Tobago. When we convert our support into a vote, brothers and sisters, there will be enough to save up for the next election. Ensure, brothers and sisters, in spite of the electoral district wherein you reside or even the polling division, when you go to the polls, all you look for is the symbol of. We are going to vote and go out and vote resoundingly for the symbol of. Forget name. All we're looking for is. Brothers and sisters coming from the division. When I hear this division, I just feel it's an exam. Food security, natural resources, the environment, but the end done, and sustainable development. When I hear this thing, I just start to feel it's an exam. This lady always on the ground. I'm not calling her an earthworm. She always on the ground. Through her community. Brothers and sisters, this lady, I thought Wayne was a worker man. This is a worker lady. A worker lady coming from the electoral district of Mason Hall South, Bagatelle, a lady who has moved the division of agriculture into motion and has moved, brothers and sisters, person into action is no other but Natisha Charles.
Oh, Charles panting steady and bright. Natisha, lighting up the darkest night. Incumbent, reliable, standing tall for you and me. For Mason Hall, South Bagatelle, she brings the people's victory. Natisha, oh, Charles panting steady and bright. Natisha, lighting up the darkest night. Incumbent, reliable, standing tall for you and me. For Mason Hall, South Bagatelle, she brings the people's victory. Vote number 1, 12th of January. Let the whole wide world know. Natisha, let's make this garden grow. Down Calder-Hole Road, where the families meet.
Good evening, TPP people. Good evening, Tobago. Good evening to the lovely people of Speyside. Please allow me to stand on already well-established protocols. It feels good to be here tonight in the home of our chief. And let me first start by thanking you sincerely for coming out. You could have been cooking and baking and cleaning the house, yeah? But the fact that you made time to be here, it says that you understand the weight of the decision you are about to make on January 12th. And those online watching, I thank you for tuning in. Now I'm going to leave all the achievements of food security to the Chief Secretary and all the wonderful work that all the divisions we have all been doing. And I want to focus on us. Tobago is we. And that is what I will be talking about tonight. Tobago people, we are at an important point in our journey. 4 years ago, after 21 years of one kind of government, Tobago made a bold step, and that, at that time, and some may have said, a risky choice. You took a chance at something new. You took a chance on a new party. You took a chance on a different way of doing things because you understood that doing the same thing over and over again was not working. And now the question before us is simple. Do we give this new direction the time it needs, or do we go back to what we already know?
You respect that? You respect that?
And let me say this plainly. Tobago people are not like Lot's wife. We are not people who walk forward but keep looking back. We are not people who forget why we left in the first place. Just because something feels familiar doesn't mean it was good for you. That is why tonight matters. Tonight is about Tobago. Tonight is about us. Tonight is about a people who made a brave decision 4 years ago and who are now being asked to protect that decision. Because Tobago, let's be honest to ourselves, change is not easy. Transformation is not comfortable. And when people begin to see progress, there will always be voices calling you back to what feels familiar, even if that same familiarity held you back. But Tobago people are smarter than that. In 2021, Tobago made a statement. After 21 years of stagnation, silence, and political sufferation, Tobago said enough. Enough of being told to wait. Enough of talent being boxed in. Enough of communities being ignored. And now we are hearing people saying they want to put Tobago first again. So Tobago people, I have to ask, when exactly was that? Because for 21 years, Tobago was not first. Tobago was postponed. Tobago was sidelined. Tobago was treated like an afterthought. And in 2021, we finally chose ourselves. And Tobago chose a different path. That path demanded courage. It demanded patience. It demanded leadership that was not interested in noise or show, but in rebuilding trust, restoring systems, and putting discipline back into governance. And Tobago, that is exactly what has been happening. This administration did not inherit perfection. It inherited broken systems, neglected infrastructure, institutions that had lost their way, people working hard inside frameworks that no longer worked for them. And instead of pointing fingers or making excuses, this leadership rolled up its sleeves and got to work. We started fixing it. Not loudly, not recklessly, but deliberately. And that is the difference Tobago people can feel. Our Chief Secretary, the Honorable Farley Chavez Augustine, stepped into leadership at a time when Tobago was under real pressure. Real pressure. Development allocations were cut. Money for projects was reduced. And plenty people expected things to slow down. Imagine having police digging up for things that didn't exist. Now think about it. You being the man of a home, you being a husband, trying to run your home without money. The pressure might make you act out, or it might make you silent and bite your tongue. And even your family may not understand the extent of the pressure, so they're left to think about all kinds of things. Why isn't the money there? How are we to cope? And sometimes even as a secretary, you see the pressure and you're wondering what to do. I can indeed say that the captain of this TPP ship has been very strong. Very strong.
You respect that? You respect that? You respect that?
I didn't have half the strength that the chief secretary had, but he had it for me and all of us. He didn't give up. What he did instead was to lead a team that stood up for Tobago, spoke up when Tobago needed a voice, and found ways to keep working. With less money to work with, we got creative, we prioritized, we shared responsibility, and made sure progress didn't stop just because resources were tight. The chief has shown us that leadership is not about flexing dominance, like some of them was doing down in Trinidad, but setting direction. And Tobago that resonates with us, because we know what it feels like to be overlooked, to be treated like we must always wait our turn. We know what it feels like when decisions are made for us instead of with us. And we know how different things feel when leadership finally listens. So when we speak tonight about progress, we are not speaking about perfection. We are speaking about movement, momentum, a Tobago that has finally begun to believe in itself again. 4 years could never undo 21 years, never. 4 years could never undo 21 years.
You respect that?
But 4 years was enough to start, enough to reset priorities, enough to restore fairness, enough to put people back at the center of governance.
You respect that? You respect that?
And that is why this election is not about restarting Tobago. This election is about continuity. It is about giving this island, yes, it is about giving this island the chance to finish what it has started. Because when people tell you that nothing has changed, what they really mean is change didn't benefit them yet. Real progress doesn't always shout. Sometimes it builds quietly. Sometimes it repairs instead of performs. Sometimes it chooses long-term stability over short-term applause. And Tobago, we must protect that kind of leadership. Tonight I stand here not only as a prospective candidate, but as a Tobagonian who understands what it means to choose growth over comfort, to choose principle over pressure, to walk away from battles even when people watching from outside telling you to come back because it looked familiar. But Tobago people know this truth well. Not every house that shelters you is home. And not every place that feels familiar deserves your loyalty. Home is where you can grow. Home is where your contribution matters. Home is where your voice is respected. And Tobago has found its political home in the Tobago People's Party.
You respect that? You respect that?
This is a party that understands governance must reach every village. A party that believes development cannot be selective. A party that knows Tobago's strength lies in its people. It lies in all of us. And that is why our theme for this season speaks so deeply to who we are. Tobago is we. Tobago is not me. Tobago is not mine. Tobago is we. Tobago is we when Speyside matters just as much as Scarborough. Tobago is we when the people in country are not an afterthought. Tobago is we when opportunity is not filtered through party color. Tobago is we when leadership understands that progress must be shared or it is not progress at all. And Tobago, this is the direction we are moving in. But let me be clear. Let me be very clear. Progress is fragile. It can be reversed. It can be undone if we grow complacent. And that is why your role in this moment is critical. This election is about protecting momentum, protecting discipline, protecting a Tobago that is learning to stand tall again. So tonight, Speyside, I am asking you to stand firm, stand confident in your chief secretary and political leader.
You respect that? You respect that? You respect that?
Stand proud of the choice you made and the future you are defending. And when anyone tries to convince you that Tobago should return to what it once was, I want you to answer them clearly, boldly, and together. When I say we have come too far to turn back now, you say we're not going back. I want to hear you. We're not going back. We're not going back. We're moving forward with the Honorable Farley Chavez Augustine as our leader. We're not going back to stagnation. We're not going back to silencing talent. We're not going back to broken systems and empty promises. We are moving forward. Forward with a purpose. Forward with unity. Forward with leadership that understands development. And Tobago, let them know that we will not turn into a pillar of salt. We learn from the past, but do not let it trap us. We move, we build, and we rise together. So Speyside, as we head towards January the 12th, let us move with confidence, not fear. Stand with the Tobago People's Party. Stand with the leadership of Farley Chavez Augustine that is steady. Stand with a vision that belongs to all of us. Tobago is we. And when the world asks you, where is Tobago going? Let us answer together. Forward. Forward. That's right, forward. Because Tobago is. Because Tobago is. Thank you, Speyside. God bless you. God bless Tobago.
Natisha, oh, shall standing steady and bright. Natisha, lighting up the darkest night. Incumbent, reliable, standing tall for you and me. For Mason Hall, South Bagatelle, she brings the people's victory. Vote number 1, 12th of January. Let the whole wide world.
Let's hear it for Natisha. Brothers and sisters, amidst everything, money answereth all. So behind you there is a tent with TPP items on sale. Please answer to the call. We are asking you to patronize the tent. Purchase every item and feel free to make gifts. It's Christmas. Support the tent. Brothers and sisters, for a season, Tobago suffered. Because even at the Parliament, there was a season when the representatives of the Red Party were silent. They were only thumbing desk and indicating where nobody lives. But brothers and sisters, there was a time when an individual in Tobago figured that it was enough. This man indicated that if you don't want the job to be done, don't call me. If you don't want the job to be done, don't call me. They said the man can't walk, but he walked them off. He walked them out the house. Brothers and sisters, someone, a father, a brother, a vocalist, I hear he could sing as well. Brothers and sisters, someone whose career is deeply trenched within one of the institutions that is critical and necessary, the fire service. I bring to you, brothers and sisters, a mover, a shaker. He's now representing the intricate needs of the Tobagonian in the Parliament. Our member of Parliament for Tobago is David Joseph Thomas.
It's gonna be alright.
Don't worry, wake up in the morning, rise with the rising sun. Two little birds upon my doorstep, singing sweet songs, a melody pure and true. Singing, this is my message to you. Thank you, Speyside. TPP family, Speyside, Tobago West. Pleasant good night to all of you wonderful persons gathered here at Speyside. Now, I hope all are ready for me, because we are going to have a surgery. We are going to have a surgery in my presentation. So where is the surgeon, Ricky Jofield? Tell him to stand by. He's my surgeon. And the rest of the candidates make up the surgical team. Ladies and gentlemen, TPP family, I want to say to you tonight, I know all of Tobago is happy. Those persons who are not complimenting the TPP, they are suffering at a banker, so you have to forgive them. And I suspect that it might be more than a tabanka, it might be a train.
You go learn.
Now you would very well notice the tune I chose to come to the podium with. And that is because I don't want you to worry about a thing. Where is not safe?
You respect that.
Permit me to recognize our political leader, the Honorable Farley Chavez Augustine, the Member of Parliament for Tobago West, Mr. Joel Sampson, the Deputy Chief Secretary, Dr. Faith Brebner, the Chairman of the party, Miss Ann Natasha Seconds, all the Deputy Chief Secretaries in the persons of Trevor Williamson James, Natisha Charles Pantin, and Dr. Brebner, the entire executive of the TPP party, all secretaries and assistant secretaries, councillors, and all the persons who make up this wonderful movement, the Tobago People's Party. Good night to everybody. Now, there are a few very special things about the Tobago People's Party, and I don't want you to ever miss it, so I would remind you tonight. We are the first party to win double elections while we're still nursing from our... We still sucking breasts, for instance, and we won twice. Now, people may not understand what happened there, but the Bible says, the little child shall lead you.
You respect that.
So they didn't understand the matrix. And now that they have gotten the dynamite, they are suffering from shock. And they believe that it was something that happened by mistake. But I have news to them. There's a gentleman in this crowd by the name of Joel Notsi Sampson. He is my co-partner in the parliament. And let me tell you what our introduction was like. Now, Notsi jumped out of the starting gates in flying colors. And the response was, like the next one can't talk. That was fine. But they made the mistake to ignite my energy. And I had to start off by telling these people, if wisdom where you truly seek, 5 little things be sure to keep: of whom you speak, to whom you speak, and when and where and how. And the parliament went silent because they realized that they bit off more than they could chew. And I'm telling you, we have found ourselves in an environment that when we stand to represent Tobago, the government listens. As a matter of fact, the Prime Minister, on that Friday afternoon, when the Indian Prime Minister departed our shores, she had a caucus. And in that caucus, there was a time when I had to address the gathering. When I made my address, the Prime Minister said, nobody else is to speak. And she walked me to the side and she said, I am giving you my number, use it. I chose to not use that number for some 3 weeks. And she called and she said, I want to see you in Trinidad today. And I am an obedient fella. She's the boss. So I journeyed to Trinidad. And that meeting did not take place until 11:30 p.m. that night. And we sat at a table, and she said to me, Mr. Thomas, I want you to say to me what I should give Tobago. And I said to her, I said, Ma'am, I want you to give Tobago every cent they ask for in the budget. You're supposed to clap for that. The rest is history. I also said to her, we must be in the position of that license for the quarry. The rest is history.
You respect that? You respect that?
And she instructed her finance minister to convene with us. And he came and he started off by saying, things rough. And I said, what we asked for is not really enough, but we will take that. And the rest is history. I want to say to this gathering tonight, my journey to Trinidad is not to look for friends. But we got friends. After that first presentation in the parliament, all those who were walking past us, like we didn't exist, they now greet us before we could greet them. That is what respect does.
You respect that.
I want to err on the side of caution to all our candidates and the entire executive. You may not know, but 3 different times in 2024, they attempted to put our executive in Tobago behind bars. You may not know. But we had very educated people working in the DPP's office who stood up and preserved the integrity of all our senior executive in the Tobago People's Party. So you are not only wrestling against a party, but you are wrestling against those who are bent on making every move, legally or otherwise, to disable us. So we ought not to allow ourselves to fall asleep. And if you follow history, every time there was an entity in this country who attempted to oppose the People's National Movement, George Weeks could tell you, Makandal Daga could tell you, A.N.R. Robbins can tell you. Basdio Pandey can tell you. Well, oh Lord, they got through with Watson Duke. And they made the attempt with us. But let them know that we're strong as a lion and we afraid nobody.
You will learn.
But we ought not to forget the tricks of the devil. Just today, I was making my way up Speyside, and a gentleman standing on the junction, and he said to me, he's up in Goldsboro, all let us go and do all the thing. He say, I see the fella name, the Menace. We saw the Menace fixing himself up there. So you have to understand that spiritual warfare is a real thing. Do not lose sight of the Almighty in this battle. Do not lose sight of the Almighty in this battle. We are in a familiar space because those who occupied the space before us have a major reputation of crashing economies. And when they crash the economy, they call early elections to create room for somebody else to do the repair work. We are going through this era now. Let them know that come 2060, they will still be on the sideline. When they crash the economy, they always identify their whipping boys, sacrificial lambs. You remember George Chambers? And who we have now, don't talk hard. Our next sacrificial lamb. A few months ago, she wasn't worthy to be prime minister. But after the Broadbell pass, she is worthy to be opposition leader. Don't lose sight of the facts. Because they repeat mistakes, They repeat mistakes. And I am not going to do like, I beg to move. You may not catch that. When you speak about people that lie convincingly to turn the head of the population, we know about Email Gate. We know about Calder Hart. And all those persons who made the allegations, they occupied power in this country and never sought to bring those persons to face the courts of Trinidad and Tobago. So they manufacture the thing and they present it to the population in a way that would entice the population to become gullible. And when they do that, and they convince you, you run after them again, only for them to allow you to experience the chicken licking experience. Because the foxy loxy waiting there to eat you up. Those of you who read Cottridge would understand that story. Let me tell you, the economy of this country is in a challenging state. But don't let that give you no headache. All of you who know about Limacol and Alcalado, sap your head and take a caffeinol if you could find.
You respect that?
And go and relax yourself. Because we have a leadership here who is properly outfitted. You cannot ask more in leadership than you can have in Farley Chavez Augustine. You cannot ask more than what we have in the rest of the team. Dr. Faith Brebner, Trevor James, Zorisha Hackett, Natisha Pantin. You cannot ask more from what these people possess to successfully navigate the space to make sure that they walk you into glory making Tobago the greatest little island on the planet. Now, whenever I'm on the platform, I try not to talk about my enemies because I think doing that is making them relevant. I prefer to leave them in the doghouse. I'm not minding their business. I don't want to talk about them. I don't care what they say about me. The thing is, regardless what they say, we won. And they have to take that and stuff it. Those people for years promoted poverty in Tobago. I am a man on the ground. Up to yesterday, I walked almost the whole of my constituency trying to reach people who were differently able to distribute wheelchairs to them. And you are hearing the utterances. They're saying, boy, since the 28th of April, Tobago feel light. We have to keep Tobago feeling light. We are not going to change the narrative. People are going to just continue to say that Tobago feels light because we have the recipe. We understand how to produce quality and bring quality out of all of you. And it is going to happen, whether they like it or not. Let them dream. And don't wake them up, eh? Let them stay in their slumber. Now, they will be exposed to a surgical experience by us. Because they have been enjoying what you call a cashew experience. You know cashew? They have been enjoying a cashew experience. They had one seed. But we have a surgeon come in, named Ricky Jofield. And he ain't coming to circumcise. He coming to castrate, to remove the seed. And when he feels that that is the end of the operation, no, we're going by the banks, by the Caroni River, we're cremating it too.
You respect that?
He will never be able to say, as Toussaint Louverture said, when he said, in destroying me, you have destroyed the trunk of the tree, but its roots are still alive and will sprout again. That wouldn't happen. We're digging out the root and we're cremating it. And that will be their conclusion. Holding power in Tobago after now would be a dream, an elusive dream. And we're not going to tolerate that. That is not going to happen here again. We are going to support this wind of change. We do have a choice, people. We do not have a choice. V.S. Naipaul said in his book, written in the early 70s, V.S. Naipaul said, Tobagonians are the only people who never had a say in their destiny. People, be careful. It should allow you to reflect through the annals of history. And if you are people existing for all these decades, all these centuries, and you never had a say in your own destiny, why you don't want to stand up now and make sure you have a say? You ought to be standing up now. Let them stop seeing us. You know, they often say, Tobago people backward. Let them not continue to say that, because we can drive our own turbines here. We can crush our own material. We can attract our own revenue. And we can make our island the greatest little island on the planet. We can do that. To all you candidates, this is a calling for all of you to understand selflessness above selfishness. You ought to understand selflessness above selfishness. You have been given the opportunity to represent your people, to promote your people, to develop your island, to ensure that prosperity comes to our door. Do not drop the ball. We ain't going to be the typical West Indian cricketer, drop the catch and lose the match. That's not going to happen. We are going to take our catches, we're going to feel our ball, we're going to bowl our wickets, and we're going to win the match. We are sure where the leadership of this island is concerned, we do not have to second guess ourselves. We are sure where the safety of this island is concerned, we do not have to second guess ourselves. We are sure where the development of this country is concerned, we have that secured and we have our blueprint and the manifestation will come. Our team, they have all won our confidence and they now know that they have a responsibility to represent us well. And we are going to allow them to do their jobs. And what we will do is make sure that we provide the support for them as they march forward.
You respect that. You respect that.
We can all conclude by now, after over 60 years, that the PNM was a bad investment. We can all conclude that. So here what we're going to do. We're going to write off that debt and say, go on. Don't come back. We are not allowing you to manipulate our resources anymore. You are not fit for purpose. And Speyside, I'm telling you tonight, and to all those, the millions that are gathered here, and the thousands all around the world, I'm saying to you loud and clear, this TPP party is on business. You may find that I'm a little serious tonight because I am on business. I am not going to drop this ball. I had a conversation with Dr. Faith this morning. We both went and we were exposed to some serious prayers this morning. And the pastor of the church indicated to us that we must pray. Do not take things for granted. We must pray. And I'm exhorting all of you tonight. Do not drop the catch. Do not drop the catch. Ensure that you understand that prayer must form an integral part of our going forward. And of all those of you who are believers and who go to your churches and so on, this party needs you. The persons that you have chosen as candidates, they all need you to make sure that this mission is a mission of success. We are not worried about the naysayers. We will become so infectious that our blueprint will be adopted by many neighboring countries, even our sister isle, because we will chart a course forward that would represent true quality, and we would ensure that the peoples of Tobago get the best that they deserve and experience real prosperity. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Joel Notsi Sampson and myself, we have become very acquainted with the matrix, and we are guided by our leaders. So expect that when we go to the parliament, you will be the first on our agendas. When Tobago wins, ladies and gentlemen, I am leaving the podium, but I want to remind you that this is about serious business. We are not here to just celebrate and enjoy ourselves. All of us have a serious responsibility to make sure that we secure the future of Tobago. Do not believe that these opportunities come every now and then. It may very well be the last opportunity. Do not take the words of Shakespeare. Do not treat this opportunity, or let it be ever said, that we neglected this opportunity. Let us make sure that we stand tall and look good and display Tobago the way it should. The greatest little island on the planet. Tobago is we. Tobago is we. Tobago is we. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's hear it for your MP, Member of Parliament for Tobago East. Brothers and sisters, we are reminded all this support must be converted to your symbol is.
We wish to apologize for the interruption we just had in our feed, but we did have some technical issues that have since been rectified. So we are here again, Sonny Craig and I are here bringing you the political meeting in Speyside. We are at the Speyside Beach facility, and we have just concluded 3 speakers. We had a Member of Parliament for Tobago East, David Thomas. We also had Natisha Charles Panton and Wayne Was Clark. The final speaker for tonight will be the political leader, Farley Chavez Augustine.
Yes, we are with the presentation by our Chief Secretary and leader of the party, Mr. Chavez, Farley Chavez Augustine. But coming up over the weekend, we have Tobago is We Festival.
Yes,
Tobago
exciting.
is We Festival comes up on the 27th and the 28th. The 27th, which is a Saturday night, just after Boxing Day, we would have, wow, the Chief Secretary is on stage.
So we'll be back with you to tell you about the Tobago is We Festival just after the Chief Secretary wraps
Just
up.
after. Okay, so we go stage side at this time.
So they will bite the ground when the master plays. As long as you have the cash and all your strings attached, you're on earth but living in heaven. There's nothing for the poor or as evermore. Life in a lion's den. Hungry man shall aspire. So keep the high man on top.
Speyside, good night. Speyside, good night. TVP family, good night. TVP family, good night. You know there is no place like home. Speyside, good night.
You respect that. You respect that.
You'll leave Raxal alone, please. Let us put our hands together and welcome Raxal. We finally find it right, sir.
respect that.
Thank you very much. I'm aware that it is now 11:01 p.m. But tonight, no, I wouldn't keep it till day clean. We have work tomorrow. But I'm aware that this is our last meeting before the Christmas holidays, because we want to actually respect your ability to celebrate the Christmas holidays as you are accustomed to. And so when we pause tonight, we're pausing until the 27th of this month. The 27th, on that night, we start the Tobago is We Festival. And we start the festival with an evening of gospel. And then on the 28th, Sunday the 28th, we celebrate all things Tobago and return to our nightly meetings from the 29th in Signal Hill. But TPP family, how you feeling? You know, we have spent some weeks together going through the paces and going through the policies that we have. And I'm happy to welcome all of you to Speyside tonight, because it doesn't matter how far I go, wherever I go, there really isn't any place as special to me like being at home in Speyside. And I want to thank all of you for coming out tonight. I want to thank all the Speyside people that came down from the hillsides, came out from Lucivale, came from Scheme, from Crapo Village on the main road, and all who are sitting around all along the roadway listening. I want to thank you for being out here this hour tonight to hear us speak to you. I want to acknowledge the presence of the chairman of this great party, Miss Anne Natasha II, and all other members of the executive of the party. I want to thank our Member of Parliament for Tobago East, also a Speyside man in Mr. David Thomas. Let's put our hands together for Mr. Thomas. And earlier on, I think we heard from Miss Pantin, Natisha Charles Pantin. Let us hear from Mrs. Pantin. Come on, let's make some noise for Mrs. Pantin. And of course, at Charlottesville, we heard from Mr. Dinoon. We also heard from Mr. Orlando Kerr. We heard from Dr. Faith. We also heard from WASP tonight. You know, WASP was nearly a Speyside man. Where WASP is? You know, WASP was nearly a Topil man. Don't worry, he gets short a little bit in Topil, but we love him still. Mr. Clark, big up yourself. And you're always welcome home in Speyside. You know how to pull your leg, Mr. Clark. I want to start tonight by reporting on some things done in the district. This district starts in Delaford. The invisible line is drawn somewhere from the community center all the way down to Bay Road in Delaford. And it comes eastward through Kings Bay, Speyside, Charlottesville, Hermitage, Lansome, Bloody Bay, Parlatuvier, and ends somewhere around Mount Dillon Hill area there, between Castara and Runnymede. This district is actually the largest district geographically. When you have some area reps could drive the whole district in 30 minutes, I cannot drive my entire district in 30 minutes. If I have to give out hampers, if I have to give out toys, it's whole day, whole night, and I still have to come back the next day. But I am very happy and privileged to represent this district, because if you're not biased, you will admit this is the most beautiful, in terms of physical assets, the most beautiful district in the entire island of Tobago. When you put Speyside, Charlottesville, Lansome, Bloody Bay, Parlatuvier, that includes Englishman's Bay and Castara in one grouping, it had no other grouping that could beat this district called Parlatuvier, Lansome, Speyside. And that is a privilege. I could boast about that any day, anywhere. This is the nicest district, the greatest district on the greatest little island on the planet. And I want to thank the people of Parlatuvier, Lansome, Speyside for your support. But I want to go through some things done in this district. So I want you to be patient because the list is a little long. But I want to go through it because whenever they on the other side can't find any ideas to campaign on, they try to walk and say nothing can happen. But you see, that's what we were accustomed to. Them being in office for 4 years, nothing can happen, and then they come back and bribe you for the vote. I am saying that a lot happened in 4 years, and we have worked for your vote, we deserve the vote, and come January 12, 2026, there is only one symbol you should stamp your X alongside, and that symbol is the anchor. No other symbol is deserving of your support. And I want to go through some things for you this evening. We start in King Street. And if you go to King Street and you ask them there, you will see where this administration started significant retaining wall systems in King Street to protect that street, to protect homes. When we leave King Street and we come to Kings Bay, we started what is the single largest street lighting project in the history of this side of the island, where we lit almost every single pole as you ascend from where Tracy used to live all the way to Campbellton Junction. And if we had to go back in time, we had Tracy Davison Celestine, we had Aldington Spencer, we had Kenneth Murray, we had Mr. Dinoon, we had everybody, and many of them were great area reps, but none of them were able to deliver to the people of Parlatuvier, Lansome, Speyside, and in particular, Kings Bay to Charlottesville, lights along the main road in such a quick time as this administration, and we must make some noise for that. And I want to tell the people of Northside, don't get jealous, because we are currently doing the assessment for public street lights from Runnymede into Castara, Castara into Parlatuvier, and Bloody Bay into Lansome, so that you too will have safer streets to drive on during the night. You see, this administration operated by a principle that the development can't happen in Tongue alone. Development must also happen here in the countryside. And so we have to level the playing field. The days when all the nice things building down in Tongue and nothing in country cannot happen when country man run in Tongue. Country people must get piece of the pie too. And so we are happy that that development took place. As we leave Kings Bay and we come up to the lookout, what we call Lambeau Hill, at the top, you will see construction happening there. And that is because we have begun construction and we're nearing completion of public washroom facility at the lookout point there at Lambeau. So if you're traveling along the road, you can stop off. And I want you to make some noise for Mr. Orlando Kerr as councillor, because that's a project under his purview. As you descend the hill from Lambeau, I am sure you will recall the massive retaining wall we had to do just after you leave the cemetery junction to protect the homes, particularly of Toya and Kiel and them on the top there. This administration did that. As you come down some more, by way called Bowling, we had a cement truck liquid the whole side of the bridge. This administration fixed that. You come into Top Hill, we had a massive retaining wall. And every day, God rest his soul, Marvin will call and make noise and say, make sure the retaining wall cover where he live as well. And we had that completed in our tenure. Then as we descend into the village, you look at the residents, those squatting across Troop Drive here in Speyside, and the connection you get to get home because of the works done in the squatter lands in the back there. This administration did that because we don't care whether you're squatting or whether you're living formally on a piece of land or whether you have big house or board house. Everybody deserves service from their government because this TPP administration is an administration for all people, regardless of class, regardless of education, regardless of income. You deserve support from your government. We look on the playing field in the back of us. All of the sporting facilities there upgraded by this administration. You get to Little Tobago. When we got into office, we had claims against the THA because visitors, as they were coming out of the reef boat, they were slipping and falling and getting injured on the jetty in Little Tobago. We fixed that jetty in Little Tobago. As a matter of fact, the former administration was planning to use, and the Secretary of Finance is here, was planning to use the CAF loan to fix the jetty. And they were saying we should wait on the CAF loan. If we waited on that CAF loan to fix the jetty, all now that jetty ain't fixed because we still ain't get the CAF loan money as yet. But the people of Speyside and those that are involved in the tourism industry got a jetty repaired early in our tenure. But we didn't stop there. We look at Speyside High School. And the last time I went in there, they're telling me the new wing that PNM built, full of mold, it's falling apart. You see, everything PNM built, not built good at all. We have to come and either build it over or fix it. And that's a $7 million fix for that school. Because we are saying that if there is a secondary school this far up in the countryside, they deserve the best facilities too. And it doesn't matter that I went to school in town. I want the schools in country to provide the best quality education for our children. And I am proud of the 7 years I taught there, proud of the teachers there, proud of the students there. And I want to say to the parents and to the students and former students of Speyside High School, you have every reason to be proud of your school because they built that school thinking only Dunsehead children will go there. But that school has produced excellence upon excellence upon excellence because when it comes to people from country, we know what it means to act right, to be right, and to produce excellence. But we ain't stopped there. When we look beyond the high school, we go into Lucy Vale. There is Lucy Vale Branch Road. If you go there now, you see work happening. And the only reason that road and pave is because Wassa playing of themselves. Because we ready to pave today and Wassa show up to say they need to change the line. They need to change the main going up the hill. Whole time we're doing the work, everybody knows you can't drive up that hill to Indian Bay. We're fixing that road once and for all. When we're ready to pave, Wassa show up. We're ready to fix in Shallaville by Top River, Wassa show up again. And I have to wonder if those who are running Wassa in Tobago really have our best interests at heart or they're trying to stop this THA work. But Wassa, all your pipe could leak if you want. You could dig up the road if you want. We will still win this election come January 12, 2026. But that road project will be completed. We are just waiting on Wassa to complete the laying of the lines. We also went to Manta Lodge the former regime bought Manta Lodge. They signed an MOU initially for a private firm to take over Manta Lodge. And then a certain woman come back from Costa Rica and they changed their mind. They decided they go build it and fix it themselves. $20+ million we had to spend to complete Manta Lodge. Probably the most expensive rooms on the island right now as it is in Manta Lodge. But that project was completed thanks to the Tobago People's Party, so people on this end of the island can have another opportunity for employment. If you're going to Blue Waters Inn, we had the road being eroded just after Lovers Bay, or formerly known as Sugars Bay. And guess what? This administration fixed that road because we provide support even for those in the private sector, not just those in the public sector, because we see Blue Waters Inn as an important asset to this area. The Speyside Community Center, I am advised by the secretary that they were handing over the keys to the village council last week. I tell him I don't want no celebration because that center is a relatively new center. There's no reason for the ties them to be popping up and roof leaking. That means it never built good in the first place. And so it was repaired by this administration and keys handed back to the village council. We look at the Speyside Anglican Church. For a while they were worshiping inside the primary school. No roof. This administration through this area rep was the single largest donor to ensure they could get a roof over their head to worship.
You respect that. You respect that. You respect that.
And I want to say to two other churches tonight, the Speyside SDA Church and the Charlottesville Pentecostal Church, don't worry, your help is on the way. Your blessings are on the way as well. You will get your building completed. We went to Bel Air in Charlottesville. We did some retaining wall systems there. We did the lockers for the fishermen in Charlottesville. We had the cocoa farming project in Charlottesville. We had the mooring boys in Charlottesville. We resumed the construction of the community center and pavilion in Charlottesville. The Charlottesville Police Youth Club has a new home. That used to be the courthouse. Long time. You know, I used to have a neighbor in Luciville long time. We used to call her Miss Verona. Keegan, we should know her. Because that will be Keegan's. Where Keegan there? Oh, you know Keegan has Speyside route. Right? And everybody know as you play with Miss Verona, she carry up in court. You have to go up magistrate court and answer for Miss Verona. But the courthouse closed for a long time. The police youth club needed a home. And I reached out to the then Chief Justice. I said, listen, we're wasting time with this building. Give us this building and let us clean it up and fix it up for the Charlottesville Police Youth Club. Today, the youth club in Charlottesville has a home right opposite the library. When we get to Lansome, at present, we have a Lansome Farm Road project under development. We're cutting a big road between Bloody Bay and Lansome on the right-hand side when you're going to Lansome from Bloody Bay. That will connect all the way back to the main road inside Lansome. Just opposite the Pentecostal church in Lansome is where that road will bust out. That is a project where we are providing farmlands for the people of Lansome and Bloody Bay so you can get into farming on the outskirts of the main ridge rainforest, and so that our young people, our villagers in the north, they can have access to lands and they can add to food security on the island. That road is almost completed. Then we go to the Blue Food Ground. And I want to pause there for a bit. Because you see, there's a PNM sycophant from Bloody Bay. I ain't going to call his name. Whenever I walk in Bloody Bay, he doesn't lock up his window and door tight. Me know who tell him I want to come in the house. But when I walk in, it don't matter if I have gift, if I have hamper, if I have things to nurses, they'll shut up tight. They don't want nothing from me. and trying to claim as though there is no big development happening in the district. But that Bloody Bay Blue Food Facility, at this point, we expended just over 4 million. And I could tell you the project continues. A learning resource center will be on the same site, which will effectively provide an alternative to a community center that was built on private lands, and will provide smart classrooms for the people of Lansome and Bloody Bay and Parlatuvier, because their education must be important. Young people in that area could do more than just make babies. They have to make subjects and make degrees and make trade and make skills so that they can be beneficial to their own communities and their own family development. Additionally, on that ground, we have some villagers from Lansome currently going through the process to get approval for paint gun so that it will become a park to allow for the use of paint guns and ATVs, and they can do tours from that spot. You can get blue food year-round from that spot. You can go and use the spot for camping. It is a multi-purpose campus facility for the people of Bloody Bay, Lansome. And I have absolutely no regrets spending millions of dollars for the people of Bloody Bay and Lansome, because they too deserve the development and investment from the people of Tobago. As we ascend from there, we started a project recently where we are providing some concrete roads to the homes of the elderly and the vulnerable in the Bloody Bay area. Bloody Bay has a subclimate, a microclimate. Those of you into geography will understand what that means. It means that when sun hot out here, rain falling and pouring down in there. It means when not a single drop of rain, dry season coming, and I saw every single day rain falling inside Bloody Bay. It means that those who are elderly, those who are not as physically well as we are, they have a challenge coming down from those hillsides, especially if it's earthen roads. They slip and they slide. Recently, we had twin girls whose grandmother slipped with them, causing them to go to the hospital, injuries. And so this project, where we are providing concrete roads to them, is not because we want to just build a concrete road. It's because we want those that are vulnerable, those that are elderly in the area, to be able to come out of their homes, to get to school, to seek medical attention, and have a better quality of living. So right now, that project has started. Family number 1 is well underway. And when we're done there, we are going to the Williams family, where the oldest resident in Bloody Bay lives, and she will get her road, so she will get out to get to the doctor, to come down by the main road, to interact and socialize with the rest of her community too. We come down to Parlatuvier, and as we're coming down to Parlatuvier, I'm sure you would have noticed some farmlands development, some farm road development going on in Dead Bay. This administration did that, open up access to the Dead Bay area in Parlatuvier. We come down by the jetty. Now the jetty has to be rebuilt, and we did not have the monies last 4 years to rebuild a jetty of that size. But you know what we did? In Parlatuvier, they had a platform cantilevering over the beach for perhaps more than 12 years. There are people from Parlatuvier here. How much years now they built that foundation? Way more than 12 years. In other words, more than 2 secretaries, 2 area reps passed through since that bill there. More than 2 election cycles since that bill there. Parlatuvier has the highest catch of fish anywhere on the island. And every single time Mrs. Pantin spoke, every single time we do the assessment, Parlatuvier comes out on top for the most catch. Anyway, more catch than Charleville, more catch than down Pigeon Point, more catch than in Boko, more catch than over in Black Rock, Plymouth. the most catch on the island, the most productive fishing community, pound for pound, is Parlatuvier. Yet everybody else have a fishing depot. Fishermen everywhere else have lockers except Parlatuvier. Thank God Parlatuvier picked sense and voted against the PNM and voted for the TPP. Because right now, the second phase of that construction is underway. And very soon, the people of Parlatuvier will have a completed fishing depot. It's under construction. And this is my first term in office as CSEC. First term in the executive. And it started already. Almost completed. The contractor that is there got all his mobilization. $800,000 plus. And we are prepared to pay him upon completion fully for that project. And this is not ordinary fishing depot. When that fishing depot is completed, you could go down to Parlatuvier, go upstairs, they will have a nice bar, nice restaurant. You get to see the vast expanse of the ocean and see God's creation. Because Parlatuvier people deserve nice things too. Between Parlatuvier and Lansome, for a long while, if you want internet, you have to chuck a box up by a window. Sometimes you have to go outside just to make a phone call. No access to telecommunications. You know what we did? In a partnership between Flow and Telecommunications Authority of Trinidad and Tobago, Parlatuvier to Lansome now have access to fiber optic cables. They now have access to cable television. They now have access to good quality internet in that area. Because we are saying it matters not how small you are, you deserve access to information. We come down to Castara. Again, we did some farm road development in Castara. And I have to go in there because now everybody fighting over pieces of land in the area. But I want to say to you, Castara, the estate is there for all of the communities, not for any one person. And so those roads developed there in Castara, they are developed with the intention that you, the people of Castara, will have access to state lands for farming and for housing. We also install at the Castara Public Cemetery toilet facilities that are working and functioning.
You respect that? You respect that?
Because we understand how sacred our burial rites and rituals are. And you must be able to depart with your loved one in peace and in a healthy manner. And by the way, Parlatuvier, we connected the plumbing to your facility that was built for the longest while. And first day long, as we connect the pipe, all the pipes inside the building bust up. Brother Tomo, we'll have to go back and rerun all the piping inside that facility at Parlatuvier. Depot Road in Castara had a drainage issue from right beneath Brother Innis Baptist Church there. And we fixed all the drains coming out from that Baptist church down in Depot Road. The fishing depot in Castara, they built it, had it locked up there for the longest while. Natisha Charles Panting came on the scene, and in 2 the building opened and is operationalized. You go to Mount Dillon Hill, you will find bathroom facilities are under construction at Mount Dillon Hill right now as we speak. So you can enjoy a best view in comfort. We brought training into the community centers, everything from air conditioning to both engine repairs. We took care of 3 major football teams. And allow me to pause and boast a bit. Because the best football teams on the island right now reside in this electoral district. First it was Sidees FC. And then last year, Gold City from Castara won the TFA League. And we have Shallaville behind them rising to the occasion as well. And that comes about because they get support from this administration. Support for Speyside High School football team and the Castara government football program. We have an extensive elderly care program, and I don't want all to be jealous. But I feel as though because I am chief sec, if everybody giving out 10 hampers, I must give out 100. Because at the end of the day, to whom much is given, much is expected. And if my salary more than them own, I must double up and triple up in what I give back to my community. And that is why so many of you elderly here today can attest to the fact that you receive hampers from me. You receive gifts on Mother's Day and Father's Day and everything imaginable for our elderly care program. Our toy drive, I don't even try to squeeze back and hold back on the toy drive. You see, I inherited a program, and you must give kudos where kudos is deserved. The former area rep used to drive around and give toys too. She used to drive around and give toys on this side on Christmas Day, and she will hold a little treat on the north side. Well, I hear for some people, well, I decide I will drive around the whole district, and in every single street, and every child that lives in my district that wants a toy must get a toy. I could tell you some years, when I see my toy running out, so I have to go online and announce, I'm coming back 2 days from now. That time I'm running down Trinidad to see if I get some more toys. I'm calling people, you could open Boxing Day, trying to catch Boxing Day sale because I'm running out of toys. But I ensure we take care of every single child in this electoral district from Delaford all the way around to Castara. And I want to tell you that on Tuesday this week, we resume Tuesday afternoon from 4 p.m. We start in Delaford and we end in Charlottesville. And on Christmas Eve, we start in Castara and we end in Lansome. Why am I taking the time to tell you all of this? 30 minutes of going through deliverables in this district is because I want you to know that when you vote for a TPP candidate, you are voting for an excellent area representative that will take care of your needs. Because I am not the only one. We do the book drives. We do the skills training. We do all of the social care that is possible because we genuinely care for the people of this electoral district and all 15 electoral districts in Tobago. And so a vote for the Tobago People's Party is a vote for progress. Is a vote to take care of the most vulnerable on the island. And so, even as we pause for the beautiful season that is Christmas, and yes, I'm going to be driving around begging all for black cake because I don't have time to bake these days. You know, I always begging for cake. Yes, Miss Boyce, I will make sure I get a cake. But you know, I don't have time to bake before Christmas. But I'm saying to you, in this season, this special season, we want to remind you what it means, what we mean by Tobago is we. We want to remind you that this is a time where we get to exhibit our true Tobagonianness, our sense of caring and sharing, our ability to live with each other as neighbors. That is what it means to be Tobagonian. And I can tell you, we don't take care of our supporters only. I grew up in this village, and I know when the other side was in charge. When the other side was in charge, if you ain't ready, you're dead. If you ain't ready, you can't get nothing. If you ain't ready, your name can't go down on any paper for anything. If you ain't ready, you can't get no grant. And I'm saying, when we provide service to our people, we don't care whether you're red, black, or blue. Once you are a Tobagonian, the Tobago People's Party takes care of you because Tobago is we. And I want to address one other thing before I close tonight. I heard a political upstart saying that we're not opening the new airport because we bad mind or because we just don't want it to open. And I want to address that. I want to address that because such ignorant statements must not be allowed allowed to foster, not in this political space. This administration, I've said it in the example of Manta Lodge and so many others, things that they can't finish, we just finish. They couldn't finish Manta Lodge, we finish it. They couldn't finish the sport facility in Wim, we finish it. They couldn't fix up the courts in Shaw Park. Look how long them tennis courts there in a state of disrepair is we fixing it. So it doesn't matter who started it, we will finish it or fix it on behalf of the people at Tobago, because this is the way we fix this screw. We understand good governance. That new airport, I want to tell you, was never finished. They come and open an incomplete airport because a man wanted to put his name on a plaque. But the airport was never completed. I toured that facility. Right now, in the old airport, it is much more advanced when it comes to getting fuel for planes. In the old airport, they have fuel lines running under the tarmac, and the planes can easily have access to fuel. In this new airport, you know what has to happen? They have to take a truck to bring and fill up a plane. And one of those big planes like British Airways will need at least 2 truckloads to full. Now, this is an airport that they claim could carry 3 million visitors a year. How much planes we could really get on the ground at one time? If it is, we have to fill up a plane by truck in this day and age, in 2025. And they talk about the Bill Good Airport and airport finish. Incomplete. When you walk through the airport, they still have to procure furniture. The new airport, I had a meeting, a visit to my office from the taxi drivers who operate on the airport. And I was shocked when they tell me that they have less taxi spaces on the new airport than the old airport. And they're telling them to park up on the old airport and to come in the new airport, get their visitors and go back down for the car and come back. That's the new airport. For the new airport, staff have to park down on the old airport, and you have to shuttle the staff up. So you know if a staff member forget their food in the car, forget their phone in the car, then they have to tell the supervisor, I want to go back down to get me stuff and come back again. How that impacting productivity? And they say they build a new airport. So when they tell you the airport ready to open, they lie. The airport was never complete. It was never even built with the end users in mind. And what we are trying to do now, what Miss Jerlyn John is trying to do now, is to get it retrofitted to meet the needs of the end users, like our taxi drivers, the car rental companies, and so on. We already said to you that we will earmark the second quarter of 2026 for the new airport. So we get it in advance of next year's winter season. So there's no bad mind why the airport ain't open. We want the new airport to be open. We want a decent airport named after our local and national hero, A&R Robinson. So we won't skylark with that. But let us be honest, the airport is incomplete. They call it a practical completion, but it was far from being practically complete. Practical completion means that you could start to operate while you do minor adjustments and fixes. You can't start to operate there. It requires more work. I told you already, we have to do another road behind Ravenels because Storbay Local Road between Gaskin Bay Road and the new road that we built is too narrow. As a matter of fact, the Friday before the airport opened, former Minister Rohan Sinanan came to my office. He and his permanent secretary asking if we go widen the road. I said, who, me? Go take people land? I said, you go take the land and then come back, let me widen the road. But I'm not going and tell nobody in Storbay Local Road I come in to take the land again. You'll distress them enough. Go and acquire the lands behind Ravenels so we could extend. They never acquired it. All of that has to be done. So it's not bad mind why the new airport and open. It's because we are about doing things decently and in order. We ain't doing things for election. We ain't just doing things for fame. We're doing it because the people of Tobago deserves the absolute best. And if we have a new airport, it must be the absolute best. And we will ensure when it's open, it is the absolute best in the country and in the region.
You respect that? You respect that? You respect that?
So I want to say to Harvest God, stick to your daytime job. Come round on Sunday and eat some harvest food. That is what you're good at. But don't get in business you don't know anything about, sir. Don't open your mouth about things you don't know about. And I hope your seniors will advise you properly. And finally, somebody sent me a clip of Mr. Dennis apologizing. Now, I remember when I first joined politics, under the PDP umbrella, we had a brethren called Gideon that used to sing a song. Is it too late to say I'm sorry? In other words, we ain't want no sorry. Sorry can't buy 5 cents curry. We ain't want no sorry. We gone past that stage. We may forgive, but we shall not forget. And come January the 12th, we will punish you for all that you have done to the people of Tobago, and we will take every single seat in this election. Not a damn seat for them. Not one, not one. Because I want on election night. When we don't count up the votes, because you know my district small, and all those who working in the polling station for us, I seen all here. All them brother want to eat and drink after the polls close. Sit down and count the votes and get it over with. Others gonna be waiting long. Count it fast. Because I know when they don't count it, Max London lose the deposit long time. We're starting this thing with Parlatuvier, Lansom, Speyside, and yours truly, Farley Chavez Augustine, in the corner of the Tobago People's Party and the anchor. And then I'm driving down the road. Because I'm going by my father and take a shower. And I'm driving down the road. And I want, as I come in along the main road, the Windward main road in Dallaford, I want Brother Orlando Kerr for Roxborough, Dallaford, to join the posse, to join the motorcade as we start to move from the east going westward. And as I break Bad Rock Corner, as we are approaching the best bakery in Tobago, I want to see Dr. Faith Bremner and her team. I want to see that blue Mazda come out. And Dr. Faith Bremner and her team joining us 3 out of 3. And as we drive some more coming down the road, we are approaching Goldsboro. And as we exit Goldsboro and we reach by the polling station by Goodwood High School, I must meet Miss Megan C. Morrison, sitting in a car waiting patiently for us to take the posse from Goodwood, Mount St. George on our way to town. And as I break John Dial Hilltop, Claude Noel Highway Hilltop, and approaching Bacolet, I want Natisha Charles Pantin to come out on the highway with her crew from Friendsfield and Bagatelle and Mason Hall South and join us on the highway. And as we reach Collar Hall traffic light, 2 gentlemen should join me by Collar Hall traffic light. We're starting first with Mr. Trevor James, the man with a plan for Scarborough. Brother James, I said I tried to drop a manifesto tonight. It looked like AI write it. It looked like they just like ChatGPT write it. It looked like Gemini write it. It looked like DeepSeek write it. And they just patch them up together. All of us see proper manifesto come January the 1st. Proper plans come January the 1st. With proper feasibility study. Proper discussion. Proper scientific write-up with data analysis. We don't do things halfway. We do things properly and done. As we get to Rockleyvale, I see my brother, my neighbor from the north, Mason Hall, North Moriah, coming out in the person of Ian Whitey Pollard. Mr. Whitey, I had cause to be in Mason Hall last night after the meeting. And the people say even Rowley coming up to vote for Whitey because the PNM candidate is a waste of time. And then as we go further along the highway, I have a brother who I said tonight nearly was a Speyside man. He escaped a little bit, right? Don't be surprised if he come back. Coming out from Lambo Lowlands, the man with the biggest growth in politics, the man with the sting, Mr. Wayne Wasp Clark. And as we approach Signal Hill traffic light, I want you to visualize with me the gentleman, the gentle giant who ended the political career of a former political leader who run from up here to down there. She leave country to go low side and take licks. They counted him out. They say he couldn't do it. But whether it's 1 vote, 2 votes, or 3 votes, he still win the seat, and he will win the seat again by a landslide come January the 12th, 2026. Nigel, Mighty Man Tatos. But I'm going all the way down to Bonaccord. I'm going down to where the new airport is. Are going down for the people who got kicked off the land and didn't get paid properly for the land for a new airport. Are going down for the people who just see the street in Gaskin Bay Road flooding now because they build an airport and clog up all the drains and then block off all the passageway for all the waterways. I am going for Nikita Percy for Bonaccord, Crown Point. Bounty. They cross the angry and the miserable. Bounty. They get fever right now. Bounty. And then as we make an about turn and heading back into Canaan, we entering the district of Bucco, Mount Pleasant. And I told you tonight that this gentleman also has Speyside roots. His father is from up here. His grandparents from up here. We the only lend them down to tongue. You know, country people have to go down tongue and build up tongue. And Sister Annette. And so, Bucco Mount Pleasant, we have a man who will continue the work of Mr. Sonny Craig. Mr. Sonny Craig pounded some nails in the coffin, but it had one nail that's slack. And Mr. Keegan Dinoon will ensure the final nail is driven into the coffin of Mr. Dennis. You shall not resurrect after this. And as I exit Bucco, I interact with the people of New Grange and the people of Bethel and the people coming down from the hill to a man originally from Mason Hall, but he married to Bethel. He live in Bethel. He heart and love is in Bethel. No other person than Mr. Darren Henry. I see a Ben Skin. I see a Rodeo. I see a Deshaun. I see you all coming down. I see Sheena. You're coming down, lifting up Darren Henry. Bethel Newgrange. And now as we go north, we enter Blackrock. We have a young man whose mother was the principal of the Blackrock Primary School. He also attended the primary school in Montgomery. He also attended Bethesda Government. He's a Plymouth boy. Plymouth born, Plymouth raised. You know, I have a device in my office. I just press a button or press my phone and I say, Alexis, play so by so. Alexis, what is the weather today? Alexis, how do you define so by so? And the person who will come into this administration with similar intellectual prowess as Alexis the device, Mr. Kern Alexis from Plymouth, Blackrock. And I don't want to forget this one. Because as we leave Plymouth, Plymouth's sister is really Bethesda. And we have a young lady born and raised in Bethesda. Raised right up there. Where you call it, the Goat Rock?
You respect that.
Right up in Goat Rock there. Right up in that street above the Pentecostal church there. And she now controls the district that runs from Bethesda, Home of Adventure, Annosville, Lekoto, Golden Lane, Bethesda, Lekoto, Zorisha, Amina, Hackett. And I want to save the best for last. Because last election when we went to bed certain we won all 15 seats. We went to bed seeing that the numbers were on our side. And we wake up sometime the next day and here we lose a seat by a handful of votes. But that is all right. That is all right. That was a sympathy seat to get. But we are no more sympathy. The people of Darrell Spring Wim asking for good representation. They feel left out. They're asking for a man that will stand up in the house and talk things with sense. Have good logic. Who ain't going to embarrass me? They want somebody with pedigree. And we could look no further than a family that has given its all to the community, to the Joe Field clan. I want us to make some noise because the next era representative for Darrell Spring Wim will be the one and only Mr. Ricky Joe Field. Speyside. We're taking home all 15. Speyside. We're not losing focus now. Speyside. Tobago is we. Speyside. The anchor holds. The anchor holds. Firm and strong. The anchor holds. The anchor not moving. This ship not moving. Rough seas could come. The ship could bounce up and down. But the ship not moving. We're staying safely anchored in the governance of Tobago. The Tobago People's Party. Tobago is we. We are Tobago. We are the Tobago People's Party. And come January the 12th, 2026, one symbol and one symbol only. The anchor. The anchor. The anchor. The anchor. Jam it by the anchor. The anchor. The anchor. We vote for the anchor. The anchor will hold. The anchor must hold. The anchor bound to hold. It must hold. It have to hold. It can't get loose. We are proper rope. It tied down now. We anchor firm, firm and deep in the Savior's love. Thank you, Tobago. Thank you, Speyside. Thank you, Parlatuvier, lands to me, Speyside. Thank you all. We wish you a merry and joyous Christmas. Please enjoy the Christmas. See you on the evening of the 27th of December as we come out to give God thanks and praise. As we come out to give God thanks and praise on the 27th of December. God bless you. Get home safely. We love you. All the best.
Chief Secretary came out firing in his hometown. I heard her saying, said, dog bother your own backyard. Yeah?
Yeah, he was real fiery. As a matter of fact, what he did, he highlighted some of the projects that were undertaken in his constituency.
That's right.
And we would have been here all night if he had to continue and tell us all the things that he has done.
It's a real sacrifice we make to be in this profession, to get the message to the people. And I must commend the Chief Secretary for being an educator.
Yes.
Every time he speaks. You know, you won't get away from the Pekong, but I could confidently say like 85-90% of his presentation is always educational.
Yeah,
and
very,
I think
very
that's something really, really commendable.
And you can always take away something serious from it.
Yes. So tonight is the 21st, is it? We are 3 days away from 4 days away from Christmas. As a matter of fact, it's it after midnight, but anyway, on the 27th, we meet again out on the Esplanade, and we begin with a religious service, concert, celebration. On the 28th, we'll be gifted with the son of the mighty shadow, Charlon Bailey. So those 2 nights, those 2 days promise to be, what's the name for that time? It's give my name. It's Tobago is we.
Tobago is we, yeah, it's a Tobago is we celebration.
Celebration, correct.
And we'll also have on the first night, Blessed Messenger. As a matter of fact, on the 27th, it's a gospel afternoon.
Gospel afternoon.
From 6 p.m. on the Esplanade.
Right.
And then on the 28th, we are back again on the Esplanade for
Right.
more activities. Lots of Tobago activities.
A lot of Tobago cuisine. Tobago fashion, I understand there's goat racing and
goat racing, everything Tobago.
Everything Tobago. So, folks, we are really happy to be the ones standing in the gap here for you, to be abreast of what's happening in the TPP movement as part of the Blue Wave media. So, we say goodbye for a time.
Yes, and we want to wish you a Merry Christmas as well, because we resume our political meetings after the Christmas holidays. But in the meantime, have a joyous season. Be very safe until we see again. I am Petalan Roberts.
And I am Sonny Alfred Craig. Pleasure doing business with you.
Yes.
Merry Christmas and the best for the balance of the year and for 2026.
Yes.
And it's our hope that in January you make that most important decision on the 12th of January to give your vote to the Tobago People's Party.
Vote for the anchor.
Have a good night, everyone.
Good night. Take care.
Just make sure everything what you're doing in life stay positive. But mine would have set trap for you. Them love to see the negative. They love to see you frown. Don't let them bring you down. And with the things they do and say, God bless you up and then wake you up. Figure, mix it. On them dirty heart and them dirty mind, games we now go play. TikTok boss, who is the best boy? Who is the best boy?